What's good, YouTube? In today's video, I will be showing you everything you need to become a YY movement demon on Warzone in 2026, or we go fight on any map you want. In today's video, I'll be going over everything you need, starting from YY macros, anti-deadzone, no deadslide macros, zero delay, and obviously all the in-game settings you need to become a YY demon. I'm also going to go over a few in-game tips how you can actually move better in-game. And on top of that, for all of you content creators out there who just started posting on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, I'm going to give you a couple of tips how to make your content look better and attract a larger audience in general. For everything macro related, I'm using Coda now. It used to be DS4, but Coda has some really nice exclusive features that DS4 just doesn't have. On top of that, its performance is much better as well. And for that, I'm going to give you a little installation guide. After you purchase Coda, you will be sent to this screen. You'll just have to click on this. To install it, you'll have to extract the zip file and start the application. It's very simple. After you started the application, you're going to put in your activation key, and after that, you're set. I'm going to go over how to set up everything. If you want to go the quick way, you could just go to my Discord, install my Coda preset, import it in the app. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to show you. You go to the top right, you click on manage, import, and then you select my preset, and then you're going to have all my settings. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you want to do it yourself, if you want to play with the settings a little bit, I'm going to go over it anyways. If you want to get Coda, you can get it with 10% off with code filthy10. Make sure to check the description of this video. There you will also find the link to my Discord to get my config file. You can get the config file for free. It saves you a lot of time. But as I said previously, if you want to play with the settings yourself, which I do recommend, even if you copy my preset, try some settings. I'm assuming most of you already know what a YY macro is. You've probably seen me switch my gun very fast all the time. You maybe wondered how I'm doing it. Well, I'm not pressing triangle this fast, there's no way. I'm just holding down another button that switches the gun for me for however long I want. I just have to hold the button. For me, it's left D-pad. In the controller overlay, you will only be seeing the output of Coda, so what the game sees, which is also a great feature, by the way. Coda hides your raw input, so the game only detects the Coda output, which increases delay by a lot. You can also do this with DS4, but it's very hard to set up. And this is also something I like about Coda in general. It's very easy to set up. You could download, import my or someone else's config and have everything set up in literally 5 minutes. Alright, for all of you who want to set it up yourself, I'm just going to go over how to create a macro real quick. If you want to have different switch times or have it on a different button. So you're going to head to the macro tab on the top and add macro. Then you can rename it. I'm going to name it YY. Then you click on repeat while held. Start recording. Pick up your controller and press triangle twice. Then stop recording. And then you change the wait time in between the YYs. I'm going to show you mine. So if you want these are mine, you can use more or less. And then once you created your macro and put your MS, you go to remapping. You select your button. I have it on D-pad left. A lot of people like to put it on the left or the right stick. So you would go and click on your stick, macros, and then you can add it. And then you can tab right back into your game. You will have it instantly, no need to restart the game. The reliability of Coda is also on another level, but that's besides the point. So next thing I'm going to go over is Anti-Deadzone. And I'm staying still, you can see my screen still moves. And this is not stick drift. At least not entirely. I do have a bit of stick drift, but this is what's called Anti-Deadzone. Me personally, I use a rather low Anti-Deadzone. This is why it only moves like this. Some people online have a very high Anti-Deadzone, which will kind of look like this. When they walk around and don't move their right stick at all, it will swerve for them pretty clean like this. Me personally, I'm not using it, but it's actually pretty cool. You can set up with code as well. Just put a higher value than I have. But why I actually use Anti-Deadzone is it makes your stick feel much more loose. You will be able to turn much quicker, in my opinion. It's a big feel thing. I'm recommending you to try out some values and see what works for you. Me personally, I have a rather low one. To change your Anti-Deadzone, you go to sticks, and I only have it on the right stick since that is my aiming stick. I have it on 0.08, which is rather low, but I really like it like that. You can also put it per axis if you only want to have it vertical or horizontal. Also, one of my favorite Coda settings is how you can disable your Anti-Deadzone with clicking a button without changing its actual behavior. So when I aim in, it deactivates my Anti-Deadzone. This is like only stick drift now, which is perfect since I don't want to have my Anti-Deadzone while aiming in and trying to shoot enemies. I also have it on my shoot button, so whenever I hip fire, I also don't aim everywhere. This is a really nice feature. I also really recommend you to turn this on. Also very simple. All you will have to do is Anti-Deadzone while ADS. You put it on all your buttons. I also have it on my throwing knife, by the way. I can really recommend this. Some people have been asking me, how you can be accurate with your throwing knife. This is a must-have if you use an Anti-Deadzone. Next thing I want to go over is how to avoid deadslides. So it's a simple trick. All you will do is dedicate a button just for sliding. You can do it with Coda. All you'll have to do is go to your settings, mouse and keyboard. You have a dedicated slide bind, key binds. Go to movement advanced settings, slide. I'm gonna put it to P. And then you go to Coda. You can put it on your circle button, keyboard, and put P, save, go back in game. As you can see on the overlay, whenever I'm sliding, there's no input. And this is because it's a keyboard input now. This is a dedicated slide button, which you cannot have on controller itself because there will always be crouching. When I press circle right now, I cannot crouch. This is the downside to it. So you'll have to know for yourself if you want this, but this avoids deadslides 100%. Alright, now I'm going to go over a couple of tricks in-game. Very simple, but I'm using it all the time, if you haven't noticed now. What I like to do a lot when you have a door like this. By the way, let me turn off motion blur. I just put it on. It looks cool. But for actually playing, I wouldn't really recommend using it. Alright, so whenever there's a door like this, there's some enemies here. I like to go like this so they can't see me and then just slide from side to side. Sometimes they will come out, and when you slide, you can break the camera. It works a lot. What you can also do when you see them coming closer, you can actually slide in and break the camera as well. You can go out stim, come in, and you know, surprise them. This is a nice trick you can do in game. Some cool looking tips, obviously just YY, spin in circles, you can jump, ADS and slide. You can pull out your throwing axe and put it away again with triangle, just pressing it once. So you hold your X button, as you can see on the overlay, it's triangle once, and let go of everything. It's a pretty cool trick. Then you've probably seen me do it. When you time your jump perfectly on top of a ledge, slide and jump again, you get a nice ledge, slide, jump, whatever. So slide, jump, you have to hit it perfectly. It's a really cool move. Looks very flashy. It's kind of hard to pull off in game, but if you manage to do it, it looks insane. Another tip, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but if you want to hit your throwing knives more consistently, or like the throwing axe obviously, I recommend you to hold it for a bit longer before letting go. So just, you know, someone's knocked here, you hold it and then you let go. At least for me, it makes it much easier to actually hit my throwing axes, because not hitting it actually kind of, you know, makes the clip a little worse. Happens a lot to me, not gonna lie, but this is one thing I do to hit them more consistently. I'm going to show you my in-game settings in a second, but I want to briefly go over some things about content creation, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok. What are you guys interested? Because I see a lot of you posting, but you are missing some fundamentals, which honestly not too hard to get. Your number one priority should be video quality. So you should put everything you have to get the best quality in your clips as possible. Obviously, you should make your settings according to your PC. If you don't have the best PC, don't try to clip in the highest quality. Your game is just going to be laggy, your clips as well. But just go on YouTube, look for some decent settings. I'm using OBS right now. I've been using OBS to clip for the past years, and it's perfect for me. Best quality, very simple to use with the replay buffer. So I can highly recommend. Also, make sure the colors are right in your video. Also pretty simple, but plays a huge role. To sum it up, it's not about like your gaming. Obviously, your gaming plays a huge role. Like, don't get me wrong. But if the quality sucks, you can play as good as you want. It won't be the same. It doesn't take that much time, to be honest. Just put 30 minutes into going on YouTube, looking for some tutorial, for some OBS settings. If you want me to, I can make a tutorial as well, put some OBS settings and stuff like that. If you're wondering, I'm using DaVinci Resolve to edit. It's also very simple to use, has some nice features. It's free as well. So I can also highly recommend not doing some extreme advanced editing as well. Like, it's very simple stuff. Again, if you need some help, like, just let me know if you guys will be interested in something like that. I don't know how many of you actually post, but let's not make this too long, and let's just go over my in-game setting. All right, for controller, I'm using 2 cents. It's not the highest, to be honest. I've played on higher senses for the most part, but these days I'm just keeping it a little low to keep it a bit cleaner. You know, I'm not with the craziest movement most of the time. So I'm just keeping it on 2. For Deadzone, I can highly recommend you turn this down a bit and put these to 0. Multiplier. The rest you could I'm just gonna go over. Not really say too much. Nothing too important. Well, nothing too specific, I guess. So you could just copy it. These graphic settings are pretty good, actually. Make sure to use this. I can highly recommend. Alright, that's it with the video. Comment movement if you learned anything today. And again, if you want to get Coda, get it with 10% off. First link in my description. If you want to get my Coda profile, it's on my Discord. I'll just leave it there. You can download it. It's a very small file. That's it with the video. Appreciate you for watching. Peace.